The Cameroon Renaissance Movement, the CRM political party's petition to the African Union, rests on Article 4 of the African Union Constitutive Act, which enshrines condemnation and rejection of unconstitutional changes of government. If the African Union Peace and Security Council, the PSC, deems their complaints credible, the African Union Charter on Democracy, Elections and Government outlines a clear procedure. 1. The Peace and Security Council must convene within 15 days to determine whether an unconstitutional change has occurred. 2. If confirmed, Cameroon faces automatic suspension from all African Union activities, including summit and voting rights under Article 25 of the ACDEC. The Assembly of Heads of State can impose visa bans and asset freezes on individuals deemed responsible per Article 25. The African Union may deploy the panel of the wise or appoint a high-level envoy to broker a return to constitutional order. 5. The African Union election observers and human rights bodies can demand an electoral calendar and deploy fact-finding missions. Lastly, suspension is lifted only when constitutional order is restored, typically through credible elections or reversal of the contested measure. However, despite these instruments, the African Union Authority has boundaries. The Constitutive Act permits military interventions only in cases of war crimes, genocide, or crimes against humanity. A constitutional amendment, however controversial, does not meet this threshold. Furthermore, any decision to suspend or sanction requires consensus among African heads of state, many whom are reluctant to set precedent that they may later fall in. Experts note that while the African Union has suspended Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso and Sudan following military coups, it has never sanctioned a member state solely for a parliamentary constitutional amendment. Sanctions, if applied, will target individuals rather than the state. The African Union also does not care to humanitarian aid or general trade to populations. The petition, however, places Cameroon in uncharted territories. Egypt was suspended in 2013 after the removal of President Morsi and reinstated following elections, but no government has been suspended for legal reforms passed through parliament without military involvement. The CRM party's petition is primarily a political and diplomatic instrument, according to a Yaoundé-based constitutional law expert. The CRM party, in its release, urged Cameroonians committed to respect of the constitution, democratic principles, and the rule of law to remain focused and vigilant so that indifference or distraction does not facilitate the establishment of a monarchy in Cameroon. The party is calling for mass signatures on a petition rejecting what it terms an unconstitutional change of power.